Welcome once again to HeroQuest fans. Yes, this is still Mission 2, and we're trying to break the stalemate that we had from last time. So this is more me learning the game, trying to learn from my mistakes. I realized I was calculating the missile damage wrong, and I was also not consistently doing the melee correct, but I read over the rules and I think I know what I'm doing now, so we'll see. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the elf, the Eldar, space elf, Eldar's turn. Now I realize I did forget that since I took these walls down, see one bad thing about not having the walls is you forget where the doorways are. So technically I have an escape. See that behind the Eldar Exarch? But as soon as I step through that door, it's going to scan the board, and we're going to have to see where the remaining blip tokens are. So, but he is not trapped as the previous mission made it appear, previous mission attempt. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so he is going to attack the Dreadnought, and he attacks with his Shuriken pistol. So he attacks with 3 white combat dice. And he gets 3 zeros, so he failed. Now he gets to try again, because he has 2 attacks per turn. And he gets 4. Not enough to break the armor of the Dreadnought, which of course has 4 armor. All right, now he can move once again through that doorway if he chooses. But there will be consequences for that. So I think he's going to try. He's going to go 1 through the doorway. Because of that, I need to scan as the alien player, scan the board there, and put out some blip tokens. And yes, I did shuffle these from the ones that remained. So we're gonna, let's see, we'll place 2 there, 2 in this far room here. I'm gonna have to do a lot of reaching. So hopefully not elbow the camera out of the way. 2 here. And 2 here. Okay. Just get you a view there. So basically each room has 2. That's how I distributed them. And now, so we moved 1, again to show you where the doorway actually is supposed to be. There, and of course you can shoot through those doors, they're always open. 1, 2. So all he's doing is moving just out of range. Okay. After the Eldar, we're doing the Orc. Back over here, that is the Orc Knob. And once again, to remind you, his stuff, he has 4 life points left out of his maximum of 6. He has a power axe and a plasma pistol. And he has 3 armor because he has the power armor, which is this card here. It's equipment. Now he's used up all of the rest of his equipment and orders, and all of his group has died, just like all the Eldar warriors have been killed, other than the leader. So just the 2 commanders. So the Orc is going to move. Let's see. 1, 2. He's technically in range. Yeah, and he's going to fire his plasma pistol, which is 2 red dice. Oh, stacked up. I'm going to re-roll that. Oh, okay, he just got one. Not enough to break the armor. All right, now it's the alien's turn. Oh, wait, or is it? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so something new has happened. So we're going to look over here, and guess what? There is another docking claw. And this docking claw door opens to reveal Ultramarines. So we've got an army of humans entering the fray. Turns out they picked up the signals. They went to the last Space Hulk, cleared that out because they were looking for their lost squad. They saw the dead bodies and they moved on. They came here and they came here to finish the job. So let's see. Now the commander moves 6. So does any of the ones that have bolters. Oh yeah, one of them's armed with a bolter. He moves 6. Commander moves 6. The rest of the guys move 4 because they've got heavy weapons. So we've got one with an assault cannon, one with a plasma gun, one with a missile launcher. Okay, so the commander is going to move out first. 1. Oh yeah, and to show you where the doorway actually is on this here. See that? I'm going to have to adjust the camera to make it so that you can actually see this here. There we go. Okay, so this is where the wall would be. I'm just going to have to reprint these so that they fit better. So he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, next in line we've got the guy with the missile launcher. This is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Plasma. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assault cannon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bolter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and so none of them are in range of any enemies yet. All right, and they have their equipment. I'll just tell you what they've got and their orders. So they've got the order to fire, which is not in use yet. Digital weapons for the commander. Commander's name is Maximus. And we've got a targeter for the missile launcher, targeter for the plasma gun. And then the medikit for the commander, so that can heal him. So we've got all those for the Ultramarines, the blue Space Marines. Okay. Now, I'm just going to remove the docking claw here. It's still there, but just out of the way. Now it is the alien player's turn. So as usual, the alien player draws alien event card. Let's see what it is. And I kept the card order from last time, so I haven't reshuffled these. Alien Elite. You may pick any one alien miniature on the board. That miniature may then be used twice this turn. Any one alien miniature. Now it doesn't say that that can't apply to the Dreadnought, which is pretty deadly. So I guess technically that would mean he gets 2 turns. Let me use twice this turn. All right, this could be the end. Okay, so he's going to turn around and he's going to fire the missile. Oh yeah, let me get back in camera view. Okay, so I just flipped him around. He's going to fire a missile at the orc. Now the true way to do this is the center square, whatever you choose as the center square. So you roll 2 red dice, and the combined result goes in the center square only. The 8 surrounding squares, and of course it doesn't penetrate through walls, but the 8 surrounding squares get the higher of the 2 dice, not the combination. So I was playing it wrong. I was treating every square the same. So it's only so the epicenter of the explosion is the strongest. All right. So it fires a missile at the orc, and it gets 2. And since his armor is 3, it doesn't defeat him. All right, now it's going to fire the plasma gun. Okay, now I need to double check because it's in a line. Okay, so if he fires a straight line, oh, looks like he may hit the guy with the bolter. Like that. I didn't think of that. So let's see what he rolls here. 3. Okay, so now the Ultramarines, they each only have 2 armor. So the orc is unharmed, but this guy with the bolter, he just got killed. So he's gone. Cross him off the list already. His name was Cuddy. All right. And now the dual bolters, the Dreadnought's gonna fire at the orc commander there, the orc knob. 2, so failed. Okay, now he gets to move again. So an entirely new move gets used twice. So let's say 1, 2, 3. Oh, he can't stop in the doorway. So can he do anything? Yeah, he can't. He can't hit him diagonally with his melee weapon. So I guess can he fire again? The orc? Looks like he can. Okay, so he's gonna fire back at the orc because maximum damage. So he's firing the missiles at the orc. He got a 3. Didn't destroy him. Now he's going to fire the plasma. Now when he fires it at this angle, it's not going to hit anybody else. So he fires plasma gun 4. Uh-oh. So he hits the commander, the orc commander, because he only has 3 armor. So it's 1 above, so he's damaged him. He's now down to 3 life points. All right. Now, I still get to move as the alien player, as the chaos player. I get to move all my blip tokens. So let's see. 1, 2, open the door. 3, 4, 5. Now they only get transformed into miniatures when they come into line of sight of one of the player characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open the door. Let me flip it over to see what it is. And it's a Gretchen. So Space Goblin. Dancing a jig there. Okay, and he's within range, so he's going to fire. I'll just consult my little monster sheet here. So Gretchen. Fires 2 white dice. Just had to remind myself there. And plus, if you're tuning in the first time here in Space Crusade. So 2 white dice against the Eldar. He gets a 2. And the Eldar commander's armor is 3 because he has the trance of indestructibility still, so failed to do any damage. Okay, so did those. Now we've got more blip tokens to move. So 1, 2, open the door. Didn't see what I did there. 2, 3, 4. It's just going to stop there, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can actually move up to 5 until they're revealed, and then if they happen to have movement left, depending on what the model is, then they can move the rest. Okay, and then we've got 1, 2, open the door. 3, 4, 5. Let's see where the door was. Yeah, it's not, there's a wall there. 1, open the door. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so technically none of those are yet in sight of the heroic players. So there's 7 blip tokens waiting to be revealed from there. All right, so the alien player's done everything he can do. And now it's time once again for the Eldar. So first thing, he can fire twice. So he could fire, he could move, he could fire again, but he's going to reveal all those enemies. But he doesn't have much choice, does he? So I think first he's going to take a shot at the Gretchen. So he's going to shoot him with his shuriken pistol, which is 3. 3 white. He gets a 1. Since the Gretchen has no armor, he is destroyed. All right, so he killed the Gretchen, collected 2 more points for the Eldar team. I'll just mark it over here. The Eldar team. And next, he can, let's see, can he see? Looks as if he can see that guy there, so this is to flip over. And it's nothing, it's just a dummy. So it's just a radar ghost, so there's nothing there. Take that off the board, not worth any points. Now what can he see? Looks like you can see this one here. I trimmed my nails, it's hard to flip them over. Okay, that is an orc. So place an enemy orc there. Space Orc. Way over there. And that should be all he can see, actually. All right. So he could fire again. Of course, that thing is going to be in the way. He can move 7 squares. Yeah, he can head down that hallway. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, since he moved down that hallway, he reveals this one here. Now, is it like Hero Quest where the entire hallway gets revealed? You know what? That kind of makes logical sense. So I think we'll just say, yeah, so there's an orc here. And the one behind that orc is an android. So we've got a powerful Necron, pre-Necron type monster there. Worth a lot of points, very powerful. And that's all that's going to be revealed because that's the entire corridor. Now, time for the Ultramarines. So the Space Marines, they lost one of their comrades right off the bat. They're ready to fight, so they're going to move in. So the commander goes first, and I'm going to decide that he goes first. So 1, 2, 2, whoops. Some of these bases are a little loose. I'll have to tighten these up a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's right next to the orc. Oh, you know what? The orc should do his turn. Yeah. Well, that's where I wanted to move him anyway. Let's say the orc goes. Okay. So the orc is going to fire his plasma pistol at the dreadnought there. But first he's got to move into range. So 1, 2, 3. There's the dreadnought, by the way. Fires plasma pistol at it. And he gets 0, 0. So nothing. Kind of a waste there. Okay, so then the Space Marine commander moves in. Now he is armed with a heavy bolter, which is 2 red dice. And if you just want to take a quick look, those are the Marine weapons, what they look like. And then the commander, see, he's got the heavy bolter down there. Okay. So he's going to fire at the dreadnought with 2 red dice. And he gets 3. Sadly, the dreadnought has 4 armor, so it fails to do any damage. Next, we've got the missile Marine. 1, a rocket Marine. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to kind of spread these guys out because I don't want them to get blown up by a single rocket. Okay, assault cannon. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the plasma gun. Let's see if he was there. Oh. Keep forgetting these angles. I guess the guy with the assault cannon technically could fire. Yeah, both of them would be in range. Okay, so the assault cannon fires 2 red dice. And the thing about the assault cannon is you can split up the damage between multiple targets, but there's only one target in this case. So he is going to fire all the way from here to there to hit the dreadnought. So if he had a laser sight on his weapon. All right, so it's 2 red dice. Now that means he can be hit as well, of course. 3, it's not enough. Wait a minute. I forgot. I've got this order. So I should have used this at the start. Okay. So let me just backtrack a second. So I'm still learning what to do. Okay, so order, fire. That means each of your marine miniatures may fire twice. They may fire, move, and then fire again, or fire twice before or after moving. But it's only a one-shot deal. So I should use that. I forgot those guys were in range, and then I didn't think about it. Okay. Now with digital weapons, this is in use for the entire mission. This is equipment for the commander, and it allows him to re-roll one of his dice, either when firing or in hand-to-hand combat. So before he got a 3, he gets to re-roll 1. Okay, it was still 0. So okay, so he wouldn't have done anything. But the commander gets to fire again, and he gets a 1. Okay, now the assault cannon guy, okay, we're just going to pretend he hasn't fired yet. Okay, so he gets to fire once, 0, 0. He gets to fire again, 0, 0. Oh, that's pathetic. Okay. Now, oh yeah, and the bolter guy's dead. Okay, so now the missile launcher guy, or the plasma. Or did I forget to move him? I'm going to make an executive decision and say that he moved here. So he would be able to hit from there. Yes. Okay. You know what? I'm forgetting. Okay, so every time I get a new faction, I have to think about what I'm doing to relearn it. So I've got these targeter cards. This allows me to reroll 1 die after firing. Remains in use for the entire mission. Okay. So for the plasma and the missile, which okay, they haven't attacked yet. So I get to reroll 1 of their dice after firing. Remains in use for the entire mission. So that sounds like for every attack. Okay. So if the plasma guy is going to attack, he gets to roll twice, and each time he gets to re-roll 1 die. Okay. So first strike, he has a 3 and a 0. So he gets to re-roll 1. I have to abide by the second outcome. 4. Still not enough to break the armor. Okay. His second attempt, he gets a 2, and he gets to re-roll 1. So we're going to re-roll. It's a 0. Okay. So that he failed. Now that was the missile. Yeah, this is missile, not plasma. I'm a little tired. I'm sorry. Okay, so missile. Yeah, it would have been the same anyway, because it would have been a combined hit on him. Okay, so now the plasma guy gets to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if he's in the middle, can he still hit? Is there a clear line of sight? Because it doesn't have to be exactly. Looks like he can. Okay, so with the plasma, it just continues on, but there's nothing else on the other side to be hit. So he gets to roll twice, and then re-roll each one, or 1 each time. Okay, so we got a 3. I'm just going to re-roll the smaller one. 3. Okay, so finally, after all this time, after I min-maxed it, so a 2 and a 3. So you saw that. So that's 5. Finally breaks the armor. So the enemy has 4 armor. 1 above means he takes 1 damage. And what that means is I get to remove one of these weapons. So I'm going to say that he blew off the missile launcher. So we'll just unclip the powerful weapon here. Missile launcher's gone. So now if he gets hit 2 more times, he's destroyed. Okay, now I still have 1 more try for the plasma. Now after this, the fire order is used up. Oh, and he got 0, 0. So there's no way he can, even if he re-rolls. Yeah, it's just a 1. Okay, well, at least I did something. Okay, so that's now used up. But the targeters remain in practice, and so I just have to remember that the plasma and the rocket launcher, missile launcher, get to re-roll 1, just like the commander gets to re-roll 1. So it's really like everybody gets to re-roll 1 except for the assault cannon. All right, so it did that. Now we just look at these other cards here. I don't think there's anything that anybody else can do, because see, I have these other cards for the Eldar, but I mean, the guys that would benefit from these are dead. This applies to different kinds of monsters, which there are some of them, to be fair now. Okay, so now it's the alien player's turn, which is me. It's all me. I'm playing against myself here. So I'm going to grab another lozenge here because it is a little dry. So first thing to do is to draw an alien event card from the alien event deck. Weapon jammed. Play on one of the Marine players. That player may not fire any heavy weapons on his next turn. Oh, wow. Well, obviously, the only people with heavy weapons are the Ultramarines, so they don't get to use heavy weapons at all. So that's pretty rough because that's all they have. So does that mean they can only fight with melee? I guess so. All right. So I do that. Now should bring the little guys in. Okay, so orcs, enemy orcs, they get to move 6 squares, armor value 1, fire 2, attack 2. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That orc is going to fire his weapon at the Eldar Exarch. He fires 2 white. Missed. Okay. Now, technically, as the Chaos player, I can actually hang on to one of these, but I just haven't gotten one that I wanted to hang on to. I mean, I guess if you draw one that you can't use right away, but you want to use it later, you can just hang on to it, keep it in your hand. Of course, when you use it, you only get to use 1 card per turn, so it's not like you can use 2 cards. All right. So next, we got this other orc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can also fire at the Exarch from where he is with 2. He got 1. It's not enough to beat the armor. All right, now the android. He moves 4 squares. Armor of 2. Fires with 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can he fire down the line? Yeah, it looks like he can hit the Eldar. Okay, so he will fire with, I just said it, 3. 3 white. And he got 3 zeros. So he failed. Now I also get to move my blip tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 behind the orc. 4, 5. Yeah. All right, we're going to flip that one over. And it's a Gretchen. You didn't see that, sorry. But yeah, it's a Gretchen. And he can fire at the Eldar. And Gretchen's, of course, fire 2. Pretty weak. And he got a 2, actually. 2 and a 0. But the Eldar's armor, I believe, is 3. Yep, it's 3, so he does no damage. Other blip tokens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, he can be seen. It's another Gretchen. Now he can't fire through his comrade there, so he's just going to have to stay put for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can he be seen? I don't think he can be seen yet. You know what? We're just going to roll a die, and if it's 0, he can't be seen. If it's anything else, he can, because that's how you're supposed to resolve disputes in this game. 0, so he can't be seen. Not yet, anyway. All right. Now I get to move my Dreadnought. All right, so he could flee. Of course, I just moved all my guys that way. All right, he is going to, let's see. That's pretty nasty. 1. Still only hits one guy. 1, 2. So it's like, I don't know. 1. I don't know. It seems as if he can really only hit one guy from there. 2. Those 2 guys. Oh, I see. He could get close and then fire. 3. Okay, so I can hit the guy with the plasma and the commander. Since I'm using my plasma gun, the Dreadnought is. Okay, so I'll show you that again because I didn't have the camera focused on it. Sorry. So it's like that. Is that, or is the edge of the orc in the way? He can definitely hit him. All right, I'm gonna roll to see if I can hit the second one. If it's 0, then he can't hit him. If it's anything else, he can hit him. Okay, he can't hit him. Darn. Okay. So I'm going to hit the commander with the plasma. 2. Okay. So it wouldn't have hit those guys anyway because they have 2 armor. All the Ultramarines do. So it failed to do any damage to the commander either because they all have 2 armor. All right. And now he still has the bolters left. Now he can either fire or melee. So even though I've got the orc right there, it's an interesting situation. I can't like melee him next. I've got to fire again. It says you can use all of your weapons, but melee it's like fire or melee or hand-to-hand combat rather. So now I'm going to fire the bolters at the commander, at the Space Marine commander rather. 0, 0. So failed. Okay. All right. So I can't use any heavy weapons for the Space Marines. But now the Eldar can still move. Can still do his thing. I really only have to worry. I mean, I guess an orc could take me out. But I really only have to worry, I feel, about the Dreadnought and the Android. Of course, I don't know what that last one is. I have a feeling, process of elimination, but there's this other board to consider way up there that could have some nasty stuff. So if I move into range, of course, it's going to mean that I could be hit. But why not focus all our attacks on the Dreadnought, try to destroy it, because that's the mission. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm out of range of anything else, and I'm going to attack the Dreadnought with my usual 3. Before running, I could have used see this thing, I could have used it to stun one of those orcs. But the thing is, if I stunned him, everybody else can still move through him because faction members can pass, allies, their own allies. Plus, it says as an attack. So that means I would use up his attack or use up his fire. It would use up his action because he can either fire twice or do 1 melee. So I'd rather do 2 firing at the Dreadnought there. Missed completely. It's 3 white. I should really be rolling over here. There's more room. And I got a 2, not enough to penetrate the armor. Oh yeah, I forgot. When this guy was killed, he's light weapon. So this was 5 more points for the alien player. So the alien player is benefited by having more guys to kill potentially. Now, normally when you'd play a mission like this, you would normally have up to three factions. So like 3 squads of 5 Space Marines versus the alien player. So I started out with the Eldar and the Orcs to try to make it more interesting. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I could have exited early, which in fact was my original choice. But then I thought, well, what would happen if I stuck around and tried to actually win, actually wipe out? I mean, the Eldar technically won. But what if I tried to wipe out the Dreadnought? So facing the Dreadnought. So it's like a 2-part mission. It's much longer. So if you actually try to clear out the entire mission, the entire Space Hulk, as it were, the game's going to take a lot longer because it's like 4 boards. It's almost like playing 4 games. And the more factions you have, the longer it takes as well. So we've been going for almost 45 minutes with minimal explanation. All right. So did that. So now it's the Orc's turn. The Blood Axis Orc commander. Now he could try to melee with 2, but the problem is the Dreadnought would retaliate with 2 red and 2 white, which is quite a bit more. Of course, now he could fail in his roll because really the way you're supposed to melee is you attack them, and then they roll in response, and whoever has the highest roll, that's the one that counts, and then you've got to apply the damage. So for every point you score above their armor score, you inflict a life point of damage. And most characters only have 1 life point anyway, so at that point they're dead. But in this case, we're talking about a commander who has, 3 left, and the Dreadnought, which has 2 left. So I'm not sure if it's worth it. Shooting at them is much safer. So, okay, we'll move him 1, 2, and he's just going to go ahead and fire his plasma pistol. Dropped my dice. That doesn't count. Going to roll it in the box. You got a 3 and a 0. So that's all he can do. Okay. Now it's time for the Space Marines. So the commander, now the orc is going to let him pass. So he's going to pass by 1, 2, 3. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no door there. 5. Yeah, the orc looks like it's patting him on the head. So I can move all the way over there because he can move up to 6. So he's going to fire from there. And I just have to remember he can reroll 1 die. So he's going to use his heavy bolter. And he got a 2 and a 0. So he's going to reroll one of those. Okay. Only 2, not enough to break the armor. Because it still defends at full strength even after it's lost 1. Okay, so after him, that orc should have moved out of the way. Oh well. No, he's in a good spot. Okay. So the... Wait a minute. They said that they can't use their heavy weapons at all. The heavy bolter is a heavy weapon. So he couldn't have fired. So I moved him that way for nothing. Well, he's in position for next turn. Okay, so we'll just pretend that roll never took place. So clearly I'm making a lot of mistakes here, but it's a lot to remember. I don't know, I kind of like the challenge. Okay, so these guys can't fight because they don't have any other weapons. Okay, let's backtrack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say he never moved at all. He just is right here. He could run forward and try to melee. It's a big risk, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Yeah, so he's behind him. All right, he's going to take the risk. Now, if he melees him, though, see, his hand-to-hand combat is so weak. It's only 2 white dice. It's almost not even worth it. But they're so brave, they don't even care. So he's going to try to attack him. This could be very foolish. We'll see. Okay, he got 0. Okay, now the, let's see, 2 red and 2 white for the Dreadnought retaliation. Oh no. He got 5. Okay, so clearly 5 is the higher roll, and so that counts. And his armor is only 2. So he just lost 3 life points. So he's down to 3. Now he still has the medikit, but he's got to use it when he's still alive. He can't use it after he dies. It's just like the European version of HeroQuest. You got to use your healing spells while you're still alive. You can't. It doesn't automatically kick in when you get killed, like it does in the other games, the North American versions. Okay, so these other guys, I don't know. It's such a risk because they only have 1 life point each. I guess they should just disperse. So the missile guy is going to go 1, 2. There's that wall there. Yeah, he's safe there. Okay, sorry. So he moved there. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because none of them have additional weapons. They've just got their fists and then their heavy weapon that they carry. So, I mean, that this card, this Weapons Jammed, was a really good card for the alien player. All right, now it's time for the bad guys to go. Okay, so first off, I mean, it's tempting to just melee that guy again. That means that I can't do my regular attacks because he could use the plasma to blast both of these guys. Or wait, can he do that? Boom. No, he can't hit the second guy because the wall's in the way. Gotta look at the overhead view. So he can hit one. Oh, wait, like that? It's like a bent straw. Looks like he could. Maybe. Hmm. Looks like he could hit him. So let's just roll to decide. Okay, he can't hit that second guy. He can just hit the first one. Um, melee. All right, let's try to melee the commander again. It's going to melee the commander. That's going to use up my attack, though. So 2 red and 2 white. Very powerful. It's almost his best attack, except he only gets to do it once. 3. Okay, so now let's see. The commander only gets 2 white dice to melee, so he's probably going to beat him. Yeah, he got zeros. Okay, so 3, and his armor is 2, so it goes 1 above, so he's down to 2 life points. All right, and the thing can move. The dreadnought can move. Where is he going to move to? Can't really move. He's boxed in. So he boxed in the Eldar before. You know what? He doesn't need to go anywhere. Okay, now the orcs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, what do they melee with? Got one more movement. Yeah, it's the same as their firing. Pretty evenly matched. All right, 6. All right, he's going to go against 6. He's going to go against the Space Marine with rocket launcher. So the orc attacks hand to hand. Okay, that was a 1 and a 0. Sorry, I didn't see that very well. Okay, and so now the Space Marine, he only gets to roll 2 white in response. He got nothing. So 1, but his armor's 2, so it didn't do any damage. Okay, now the next orc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Oh, yeah. So he can just be right there. Okay, so he's going to fire at that orc there, the enemy orc, from his perspective. 2 white dice, 0, so he missed. All right, the Gretchen's going to move forward. They move 8 and fire with 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he actually moves all the way down into the room, like so. And he's going to fire at the orc as well. And he got zeros. So nothing there. Next Gretchen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He would be foolish to melee, so 7. You have some sense of self-preservation. So we're going to shoot at the Orc Commander, the Knob. He gets a 1. It's not enough to break his armor of 3. So next is, I was going to say the Necron, but it's actually the Android. That's what he's called. 4 squares. 1, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, as far as he goes, and nobody's in range. And then this thing, this blip way back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody can see him, so it's still a blip. All right. So that's the end of the alien's turn. Did I forget to draw a card? I think I did. All right, I should have drawn this. Okay, out of ammo. Choose any one marine miniature armed with a heavy weapon. That miniature's weapon must be replaced with a bolter. If there's no bolter, he may only attack in hand-to-hand combat. Wow. So it's like the ones that are really good for the alien are at the bottom. So I should have used that at the start of the turn. Because really, I mean, it did the alien elite, weapons jammed, and then out of ammo. Okay, so I get to choose one of these guys and say, well, the missile launcher is the strongest one. Because look at this big cluster of guys. So I'm going to replace him with a bolter. I don't have to pull the weapon off because he's already got that. So now this guy's only going to be worth 5 points if I kill him instead of 10. But he can move more. Now he can move full 6 instead of just 4. All right. So the alien's turn is over. All right. So Eldar first. We'll say, okay, the Eldar is just going to attack the Dreadnought with 3. Usual 3. Now he's got to get a really good roll to be able to do anything. So maybe he should just get out of there and start taking out these little guys. Maybe that'd be better. Of course, he's going to be a sitting duck. It's just there's so many attacks from all those little guys. So, oh, but he can fire, move, and then fire again. But he could take out 2 little guys. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot. He's not in the greatest spot to do that, though. He could go around the other way and try to attack the android. Let's see. So the door is there. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he'd have to go the long way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he could sneak up behind the android. Yeah, he will do that. Okay. So here's what the Eldar is going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4 through the wall. 5, 6. 7. Okay. Can he see that blip token? Okay, let's roll, and if it's 0, he can't see it. If it's anything else, he can. It's 2. Okay, so he can see it. So I'll flip this over. It's another Gretchen. That's a lot of space goblins. Okay. So he's going to fire first at the... Yeah, he's going to fire with 3. First at the android. The android has 3 armor. No, 2 armor. Excuse me. 2 armor. Firing at the android. He got 3. Okay, he destroyed it. That's 10 more points for the Eldar. They're getting lots of points. And now he gets another fire, another shot, because he has 2. He can fire twice per turn. He's going to fire at fire at the Gretchen, or he could fire at, let's see, the Orc. The Gretchen is going to be easy to kill, but the Orc... Oh, can he fire? Can he hit him though? That wall's in the way. Yeah, just so I don't get accused of cheating, I'm just going to fire at the Gretchen. Oh, too bad I didn't get that against the, well, I guess, yeah, 4. So he clearly destroyed him. So that's more points for the Eldar. 2 more. All right, now it's the Orc's turn. So he's going to attack the... I think first he needs to move. He's going to move back 1 with the gun right in his back, and he's going to fire at the Dreadnought with his plasma pistol. So I wish he had some enhancement cards left, but he doesn't. Plasma pistol. 3. Not enough to do anything. Okay, now the Space Marines. Okay, so their heavy weapons are back in effect. And I feel like I forgot something. I forgot to move. You know what? I'm just gonna go with it from here, because really I think the Dreadnought should have moved again, and I should have drawn another alien event card. I didn't think I was that tired, but well, we'll keep on playing. Can only make so many corrections. It helps the good guys, I guess. All right. So the commander is going to move 1, and with his heavy bolter, he's going to fire at the Dreadnought, and he gets to reroll 1 die. So he totally whiffed. It's not going to matter, but yeah, 2, so it doesn't do anything. All right, now the guy with the bolter. Now the guy with the bolter only attacks with 2, so it's very unlikely he would score enough to actually damage the Dreadnought. But he could move into position. So he can move 6. Okay, so we're gonna say yes, the Orc's gonna allow him to pass. The Commander Orc 1, 2, 3, 4. Why did he do that? He can shoot 1 or 2 Gretchens. Okay, fine. He's gonna kill that Gretchen there, or he's gonna try to. Shooting him with the bolter, which is only 2 white dice. 2 zeros. Didn't matter. Okay. Now the assault cannon guy down here. 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, I see. He can split up the attack. So he could hit 2 targets. Because can he get even close enough to hurt the Dreadnought? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, he can shoot the Dreadnought right here from where he's at. So instead of moving, he's just going to fire right at the Dreadnought. Oh, 6. He got 6. So he scored 2. So he actually killed it. He just destroyed the Dreadnought. Because it had armor value of 4, 2 over, blows this weapon off, and then blows the top off, blows the legs off, destroys it completely. So it's just in a bunch of pieces there. So the Space Marines now collect 25 points. So that was awesome. They finally did something. Now they lost 10 points because or no, they lost 5 points because they lost one of their bolter guys, Cuddy. And now one of their heavy weapons got transformed into a bolter guy, or his weapon was swapped out, but they didn't lose any points, just his strength went down. Okay, so the Dreadnought's been destroyed. Phew! Now, maybe if the Dreadnought had one more turn, would he have been able to do anything? Like, I don't know. There's so many what ifs, right? So if he had plasma, cockeyed, he would have gotten 2, probably wouldn't have done anything. Bolters, 2, probably wouldn't have done anything. Yeah, just luck of the draw. So now that yeah, he scored just enough to kill it, so he can't fire again, but he can move. So 1, 2, 3, I guess. Now the plasma guy, he's gonna have to be careful because when he fires, he's gonna blast right through people. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when he fires, he's gonna be shooting through the Gretchen and hitting the other Gretchen, I believe. Makes sense to me. It's not hitting that orc's elbow. All right, so he's gonna fire 2 red, and it's 5. So that means every target there gets hit. So boom, that one's killed. It's 2 points for the Marines. Boom, that one's killed. 2 more points for the Marines. So 4. The Astartes. So they're doing pretty well to start there. And now the bolter guy, I guess, could do something. Or did he already go? I moved him there. I think we're done. I think we're done with that. So now it's the aliens' turn. Finally, draw a card because I keep forgetting to do that. Equipment malfunction. Pick one equipment card owned by any one Marine player. That equipment card is then lost due to malfunction. Ooh, deadly. Well, those targeters have caused a lot of problems. Now, I could be merciful and just say the missile launcher one malfunctions because you don't have a missile launcher anymore. It's kind of like that one's already gone. But, man, that medikit, let's get rid of the medikit. Because, I just try to decide, like, what would be the most beneficial. So now he can't heal. So that's malfunctioned. Okay, so equipment malfunction. So no more medikit. All right, I need to start crossing stuff off. Okay, so medikit is malfunction. And the commander only has two life points left anyway. But I did implement that house rule where they can search for equipment. So, hey. Okay. So that was the first part of the turn. Now, but I got to reveal the stuff first. So I haven't been doing that. And if I had, then that would be an opportunity for them to do it. Okay. So just remembering what I need to do. Okay, drew the card. Okay, so I've got 2 orcs. That's all I've got. So the first orc is going to fire at the orc boss there. Actually, a knob orc commander. He's going to fire. He missed. The other orc is going to move into position 1, and he's going to fire as well. Fire for effect. Missed. So that's all I can do. Okay, Eldar. 1. You know what? He's going to use his Web of Skulls. So this weapon consists of 3 crystal skulls joined together by links of chain. It can be thrown to immobilize opponents. Play this as an attack against any figure except the Dreadnought. The attack piece may not move or fire on its next turn. Remains in use for the whole mission. So, can't move or fire. Now they could still melee. Oh, but they can't move. So, they could melee a guy that's like right next to them. That'd be all they could do. So, Web of Skulls. Just have to remember that's an effect on that orc right there. So he's like, ugh. Okay. Now, we've got the orc. The commander orc. He is going to attack. He's going to fire at this orc here with his plasma pistol. Much easier to destroy than a dreadnought. So let's see. Failed. Okay. Well, never mind then. He still gets to move. He's going to go 1 just out of range. And now we've got the Space Marines. So the commander, let's see what would be easiest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of silly. I mean, why did he use the Web of Skulls? Because he can just kill him right there. Well, anyway, put him out of his misery, I guess. So he's going to shoot that orc there with his heavy bolter. He got a 1, and he's going to reroll one of them. He got only 1. So now the orc has 1 armor, so it's probably good then, because the orc survives. Okay, now we've got the bolter marine, formerly the missile launcher marine. Just update his stats here. All right, his name is Strangelove because of the rocket. That was my joke there. Haha. Okay, so he is going to move 1, 2. Yeah, and so he's going to shoot that orc, that lower orc, with 2 white. He missed. All right, now the forgetting. Okay. Heavy weapons. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2. He's going to fire the plasma gunner. So his name is Blaze. He's going to fire at the orc there with his plasma gun. 3. Well, orc only has armor 1. He's destroyed. 3 points are collected by the Ultramarines. Have to be careful with his aiming because the plasma gun hits everything in the path. And then finally the assault cannon could just hit him from here, I think. looks like you can hit him from there. Any of you veteran Space Crusade players can decide if I'm doing this right or wrong. Okay, so he fires with 2 red using the assault cannon. It's kind of like a super version of the bolter. Or if you remember the game Doom, the original Doom and Doom 2, the chain gun, except it fires explosive bullets, according to the lore. All right, he got 1. It's not enough to beat his armor. Okay, so that is the end of those turns. So now it's the alien player's turn. Draw a card. Alien event. New orders. Play this card on one of the Marine players. He may then pick 1 extra order card. Well, how nice. I get to choose, so I guess I get to be benevolent. Now it says Marine players. The way I've been treating it, I've been treating the Orcs and the Eldar as Marines. But since I actually have some actual Marines here, I'm just going to be a nitpicker and say yes, they do may pick 1 more order. So if he were to do that, what order would he pick? What a good question. I think I'm going to have to grab the cards because I didn't put them out. I actually know what they are. They're bisections, and they are there's fire, bisections. Okay, I guess I don't have them memorized. All right, I'll be right back. Just a moment. Just going to stop the recording rather.